Unlock the secrets hidden in the dark. Symbols on the wall, rights about to spark. We sharks vision, playing every part. Unlock the secrets, gotta leave your mark. Unlock the secrets hidden in the flame. Steps to enlightenment, never be the same. Oaths in the circle, shadow in the name. Unlock the secrets, it's more than a game. Unlock the secrets.
Unlock the secrets! Yo, what up? It's Donuts, and you tuning in to the 33rd day of the year on all yo Illuminati news. Big stuff happening today, big rituals. I mean, come on. It's the 33rd Groundhog Day of the year. We just had the full moon sacrifice of the mom with the Sampaku eyes in Home Alone. Right before the Grammys, where Lady Gaga, one of these Illuminati female celebrities, doing the crazy dances, doing the crazy dance, not unlocking the secrets for her audience, but unlocking the chaotic mind control programming full of flashy lights. Flashy lights. There was a lot of flashy lights at the Grammys. And shout out to everybody who joined the party room last night. That was a lot of fun. We're going to be having the second party room of the Super Bowl, the Super Fruity Super Bowl. Join the party room for the Super Fruity Super Bowl where we live decode. We got a party room. Special mysterious entities will be joining us. It'll be a lot of fun. You don't want to miss out on that. Click the link down below. Thank you. So let's break down this ritual. This went viral. None of my stuff goes viral anymore, but this one got 1,000 likes over on Twitter, which is impressive. And I was showing the full moon rituals. I mean, we could go to Evelyn de Rothschild, Young Dolph, the assassination of Young Dolph. You even got Takeoff of the Migos, who was assassinated, and then they celebrate his life at the Grammys or the Oscars or whatever it is. So there's always a big sacrificial death with a celebrity who's an archetype from changing the images of man, like a Joseph Campbell type archetype in the head of the mother of Home Alone. Because these movies, we were home alone and we watched them, and that became the archetype. Sort of like Zeus. We get told that God is this guy with the beard, right? Where does that come from? That's like Zeus. Probably. I don't know. That's what I'm thinking. But we get showed these images and mythologies like the aliens. The whole alien thing is a mythology that was implanted in our head to look at it a certain way when it could be totally different. So with movies, we get archetypes, and she's the mother archetype. She's the Schitt's Creek mother. She's the mother in everything. And she passes away. So it was a emotionally charged ritual, just like Kobe Bryant. He was an emotionally charged ritual because he was people's idol. They worshiped the man. This actually woke up a lot of people to the rituals because of how important the 666 routine he did. It woke them up. Or Whitney Houston, who died during the Grammys. And she was in a bathtub. So it was a submerged ritual. You get a lot of submerged rituals. You got the guy who went to space, part of Star Trek, Captain Kirk, right? Charlie Kirk, Captain Kirk, Church, Enterprise. This is serious. He had someone drown. I think his fiance or his wife. You got the lady who drowned at 33 during the lockdowns. There's all these celebrities that drown, and they could drown usually in a bathtub. That's why they always take the picture of them in a bathtub. And oh my goodness, Little Fish 4684 sent a super sticker. Thank you. Let's feed that kitty cat. Chan, they get them wicked smart. Thank you so much. Really, really do appreciate that. I want to share the next clip during this Grammys ritual that Paranoid American and Chan Lee, Project Cheney caught. I shared it out after we did it yesterday, today, and it goes over the FBI symbols in the lady's dress at the Grammys. I'm going to play that clip because that clip got freaking like 1,000 likes as well over on Twitter or something. Here we go.
She's literally being trafficked right now.
With a dress on that has a spiral on it. She has her Ophelia dress on just in time for trafficking. Yes, she literally has the FBI code on her side.
Oh, I see it now. Oh my gosh. I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. I'm not going to keep it up too long, but that's nuts. That's crazy. That's crazy. It was a full moon ritual. The full moon is a crazy day. Matt Perry, he was your friend. He was your digital friend. I go over this in the Illuminati PDF during the lockdown, how friends become digital pixels. And now people are building a parasocial relationship with influencers. And it's a one road direction with the influencers. F these influencers. Planted in him, thank you so much, became a YouTube member. That is very kind of you. Make sure to become a YouTube member or a Patreon member. It supports this channel, and then get access to the party room. We go and party. We're going to eat Fruit Loops because it's going to be super fruity, and it's very important to break down the ritual. And all these rituals are interconnected and laced into an ideology of the Illuminati, which is a left-leaning socialist Marxist movement. It's all about revolution and the fire of the minds of men, going back to Billington's work, where he wrote about the Illuminati, and he was the Congress librarian. And he was also a Rhodes Scholar, which is a Rothschild scholarship. And he broke down how it all was the fire of the minds of men. It is the dark enlightenment. It is the Illuminati agenda, which is left-leaning, and it's about starting a revolution. And during this freaking Grammys, they were showcasing priming activity for the MK Ultra mind control robots who watch this stuff on TikTok to activate them through a George Soros type conspiracy to go to the streets and do something like they did in Ireland with like some Civil War kind of stuff. That's what I think is going on. Or it's just priming the subconscious mind to get us prepared for a Civil War type activity happening, which is not how you think it's going to be. It's not going to be like going to the picnic park and watching people battle it out. It'll be calculated, just different spontaneous boom booms happening all over the place. And you see Tyler, the Creator, whose friend Pusha T, I guess, was in the files. We also got this dump of the files. The files were dumped. There was a big, massive dump. And they were in the files. But this guy's a digital friend. And he died on the full moon as well. That was the last picture of Batman on the full moon. Now check this out. Home Alone, freaking Home Alone was released 33 years ago. And she died 33 days before her birthday. And today's the 33rd day of the year. So you got these 33s everywhere. So this is pattern recognition of the rituals that go down. And we cover it in the occult calendar. And today in the occult calendar, it is Clockwork Orange. I don't know why I wrote Clockwork Orange in there. Maybe Clockwork Orange was released today. Clockwork Orange. But I'm thinking of making this a bigger calendar and adding more dates and all that. Let's see if Clockwork Orange has something to do with today. Yeah, it was released today, February 2nd, Clockwork Orange. which is that mind control stuff. And that's Alwix. I'm Alwix, and that's Alwix. Oh, and that's the MK Ultra. And that's the scene where they're walking at the very end. Very nice. Very nice. Hello, everybody. How's everybody doing? I see everybody up in the comment section. September 11th, 33 days since George and Charlie's birthday. Now, that's also a crazy thing that George played a huge role in a movement that was also funded by Russia. Not a lot of people know that. And now there's Jeffrey stuff. There's the KGB connection to that. It's not a popular topic to talk about, but that was a huge movement, the George movement in the Twin Cities. And then Charlie Kirk, the polar opposite, right, was also a huge movement. So you got the duality, the checkerboards, the fire and ice of Charlie and George, the left and the right, being assassinated. And then you got Greta Thunberg and Kyle Rittenhouse, the left and the right, born on the exact same date. There's something to that. That's something crazy. And shout out to Michael Watts. Chopping screwed. Hugs and blessings to Yaz Gurley. Tech lords have taken over. Yes, this is another thing that's huge. That's very not reported on. Courtney Turner, Matt Ehret, they covered the Technocracy probably more so than everyone that I know seen doing some great work. But this is all leading us into an accelerated movement to hyper accelerate racism and capitalism so it will collapse and destroy America. So it will be resetted into a new technocratic age. And this new technocratic age will have all self-driving vehicles. Even there's this new bill that was passed and everybody in Congress was like, yay, let's pass this bill that we could shut down your car like in Total Recall and drive you straight to the police department if you're a naughty, naughty boy or girl. Driving your car. And maybe that is what's been going on over in Russia, I think it was. All the Porsches shut down. You're trying to get into your Porsche and it won't work because of the new technology in the car. So in the future, you won't be able to drive a car. And that was part of the Technocracy goals. The Technocracy movement is all about efficiency and conserving energy. So the whole climate thing that we're hearing about all over the place with Billie Eilish, everyone at the Grammys is straight up a UN mouthpiece. They're just speaking UN talking points, just like Dan Bilzerian does. And the UN talking points is connected to the technocratic agenda, which goes back to the CFR, which goes back to the Agenda 21, and we're coming up on Agenda 30. I mean, think about that. 2030, Agenda 2030 is about to happen in just 3 freaking years. This lockdowns happened 6 years ago. Isn't that crazy? Or 7 years ago, 7 years ago. 7 years ago. But the efficiency of the tech elite, the technocracy, Elon's grandfather was a part of, and it was about efficiency. And then there's new technocracy type movement at the mythology that was created for it, where they're writing all this nerdy stuff and mixing it in with cyberpunk so the elite will like it. And people listen to this. Elon listened to it. Steve Bannon, who was in the files, would listen to the leaders of this movement. And it would talk about a humane way to delete the population. And the humane way to delete the population was to put them into the metaverse. Put them into a virtual reality where they would actually become the battery, like in the movie The Matrix, and charge the AI because the AI needs water. So Davos is the year of the water, even though we're in the year of the fire horse. And the fire horse year is going to start on 2/17. So I got the warning for the 2/17, which will be an eclipse. In the 217, we already decoded that, but there's a whole presentation on 217 and the connections to that, like the movie Weapons that had the 217. I just saw the new Sam Raimi film. That was pretty fire. It was called Send Help. I liked it. I'm a Sam Raimi fan. I like The Evil Dead. I thought it was cool how I just like the story come-ups of independent filmmakers, and he took the risk, and he got a little money from his friend who was a doctor, and he created Evil Dead, and it was super creative the way that they filmed it. And then he made Spider-Man with Kirsten Dunst. So right there, she got that weird symbol that we all see, and the purple, right? Let's go back in time. Let's rewind a little bit to some other Grammys. This is when Jay-Z was the leader of the Grammys. Now he fled probably to Greece or something. I don't know. Who knows what? He was in the files, and Nicki Minaj is going after him hard. Nicki Minaj is pissed at Jay-Z. But they were doing a mock of the Last Supper, the Passover dinner for Pesach, the 12, and the Jay-Z, who's portraying Jehovah, H to the O-V, Jehovah. And then you got this weirdo, all the weirdos, except for Lil Wayne. Shout out to Lil Weezy, Young Money. The purple streetlights. What they're showing is the new technologies. They'll show the quantum computers. They'll show all the new technologies within these rituals. So the Super Bowl ritual, it's showing the new technology of man merging with machine. But these Grammys are showing the battery parts to the ritual. They're showing us the pieces of the quantum computers and the optogenetic light frequencies. And so the optogenetic purple lights, they're still popping up all over the place. Put a one in the comment if you got the purple lights in your city, and let us know what city you're in. The files that were released also had freaking Jeffrey, the Jeffrey files. The Jeffrey files go over time traveling. Look, we covered Charlie Kirk being a time traveler over here on the channel. We covered the Akasha files and the National Socialist portal projects of the Diaglock and the time traveling Nordic aliens. Which aren't aliens, they're human ancestry. We covered the Donald Trump time traveling stuff. But Jeffrey Epstein was a time traveler. I'll try to do that in a serious voice. Let me do that again. But Jeffrey Epstein was a time traveler. Right here in the files, he's writing to Seth on June 20th. Isn't that the summer solstice? In 2011, Seth, we should explore the biological consequences of time travel. It would be amusing to calculate the rate of evolution of a population or a mutant that can travel in time. M. I wonder what the M stands for. Is his real name M? And who's Seth? And why didn't he capitalize his name? Very rude. Here is the party room that we had last night. Shout out to Do Not Conform. He was showing the algae and the mushrooms are both used in human augmentation. And this seems to be connected to the purple light frequencies. We had Bruno Mars dancing in front of the heart sign. Now, the heart does play a big role in the ritual because the heart has been being attacked in many different forms. But we're coming up onto Friday the 13th, the day before Valentine's Day. And it seems like there might be some sort of Valentine's Day massacre. So there's a prediction there, another prediction. Like Jelly Roll got all awarded. Who was talking about Jelly Roll? I was talking about Jelly Roll the last few years because it's shown in the symbolism. So Friday the 13th is the Knights Templar Day. This is the day that the Knights Templars were all rounded up. Not really. Only a few of them were rounded up. And they were burnt at the stake. Did somebody say steak? And even Jason is July, August, September, October, November. But Friday the 13th is the Knights Templar Day. Jason even has 33 holes in his mask. And Nicki Minaj, she was being dissed at the Grammys. Everyone was dissing her. They were like, yo, Nicki, you whack. Nicki, you whack. What are you doing, Nicki? That's what they were saying there. They were all pissed off at her because she's not going with the whole leftist ideology. So they're mad. And she tweeted, maybe I should discuss the brainwashing techniques they use. And then she got Charles Lee Ray up on there. Charles Lee Ray is Chucky. Chucky, they called him Charles Lee Ray because it's 3 different serial killer names in the Charles Lee Ray. But at the Grammys, you got the usual suspects pushing the ideologies of the left down there with the Billie Eilish. Billie Eilish is part of a doomsday cult. And she's getting all the TikToker youth depressed. It's all about pushing depression onto the youth and hopelessness and being angry because they know that the youth has angst. And since they know that the youth have angst, they use Greta Thunberg and Billie Eilish, who says the world is going to end. They also use AOC. So that's how they get the youth. They got us through like the different punk rock movements. Then you like these punk rockers, and then they turn out to love the big corporations and getting pounded in the booty with their medicines. And here's Billie Eilish, who's a doomsday cult. She told all of her followers that the world's going to end. So YOLO, you only live once. Yeah, it's all mind control, brainwashing, and they're all making political statements. I think that's her brother next to her. Her brother made the music to the Apple TV intro. Blue, 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 blue. Apple TV intro. Apple TV's who's putting on the Super Bowl ritual. Apple TV putting on the Super Bowl ritual. That's why I'm like, Billie Eilish probably going to be at the Super Bowl. They were having Bad Bunny there. It was all about ice, and they were showing fire. In the Apple Super Bowl that's coming up, and we're going to have the party room. It's a big event. If you look up Apple Super Bowl, the 1984 version of it comes up by Ridley Scott about the 128 computer. This is freaking called a 128 computer. So this is going to be highly connected to it. This commercial. And what it's going to be about is galvanizing society in saying it's about one thing with Bad Bunny and all that, making it all sus and all that. But that's not what it's actually about. It's about the new technologies and the wicked smart cities. So there's books written about these rituals like Hollywood Babylon. Even the Misfits have a song called Hollywood Babylon. And let me just get into that. People have been documenting how celebrities go through these ritualistic sacrifices and how it's correlated to the Grammys. So in 2012, Whitney Houston died in a bathtub, just chilling in a bathtub during the whole Grammys. And, oh, look at this. The police said there was no criminal intent on 322. Isn't that interesting? During the spring equinox on 322, when Kanye is going to release his new album for the spring equinox for the 322 skull and bones, crossbones of the equinox. So right here, Houston's death coincided with the 2012 Grammy Awards. It coincided with the awards, even though it took place a day after her death, because there's an energetic window of 3 days for the ritual. Look at that. And we've been looking at these moon rituals for a while, especially when it comes to the 10/17 full moon ritual, Eminem's birthday. And Eminem, you know, he got the full moon right there in his first album. He's known as B Rabbit. Right now, we got Bad Bunny, the bunny on the moon. If you look at the moon, there's an actual bunny on the moon. And if you look at Jelly Roll, he actually got to perform with Eminem, and Jelly Roll was the moon. So there's the moon that Jelly Roll became the moon during the VMAs. Matt Perry with the moon. It's highly connected. And it sounds crazy and weird, but we're being vindicated. I mean, Jelly Roll just won a Grammy. We've been talking about his come up here for a minute. So there was the full moon yesterday. That's why we all feeling crazy. Today's the 33rd day of the year. And the solar eclipse is going down on 217. So the 217 code is in the movie Weapons. It's all over the place. So this seems to be very important, as this is the beginning of the Chinese New Year. This is the year of the fire horse that we're about to enter into. We're about to enter the fire horse year after Friday the 13th. And then the solar eclipse for August 12th, we'll look out for when that time comes, because it's connected to the helical rising of Sirius. So crypto arena, this is the cryptocurrency called MCO, and it's a hexagon for Saturn. They just changed their freaking name to Kronos, which means Saturn. Kronos is Saturn. So by looking at the symbols and watching these rituals, here's the Satanic Grammys 3 years ago, where they had the devil performance happening. Remember that? Remember the satanic twerks? But let me show you some of the technology. This was the year after the Satanic Grammys and the Illuminati symbolism in it. They're showing the Saturn hexagon there. There's the Illuminati eye for CBS. That is interesting. And that was the 66 Grammys. And then there's Project Cheney. Shout out to Project Cheney. The thing is during the Grammys, it happened at sunset. And then Turkey had an earthquake. And that's Set. That's Set, the Egyptian symbol of Horus and Set. And Set got hit by the earthquake during the Grammys. And yeah, I'm just scrolling through this. I want to show you some of the technologies that they show in it. But look, it's just all leftist. It's Trevor Noah, Oprah Winfrey. I don't know who that is. Jay-Z, who's in the files. It was pretty much just a Epstein file award show. Oh, look, this girl was there last night too. Oh, and see the Lucifer Venus? I'm going to get into that too, how all the Dubai chocolates connected to Lucifer Venus. And then this girl, Megan Thee Stallion, was the purple. Where the heck? I mean, those are the crazy one. Where's the technologies at? Dang it. It wasn't in that one. It was probably in the next slide. What the heck? I wanted to show you the quantum computers. I can't believe I didn't. Can't believe it. I thought the quantum computers were in that file. Oh, because this all makes sense once you see the quantum computers in the file. At least in my head. Let me see if I got them up here. There it is. Okay. 800 people in here. Please smash that like button. So this was the Grammys. And you see they're showing the quantum computers. This is a quantum computer. They're showing the technology. Just like Bad Bunny was showing the twerking Tesla bots before the Tesla bots were even revealed. So they're showing the new technology at these shows. And then the rituals, they're showing how they're going to connect you to CERN and zap you to cure you from being a mutant. IBM sponsored it, which is the HAL system. They're the National Socialist System. HAL's putting this on, IBM. Here's where we were talking 2 years ago, showing you the Jelly Roll connection, because he has the Sampaku eye, the Sampaku Taku, and he's wearing the checkerboard thing, and they've been promoting him. Then you watch the Olympics, and the plans for the Olympics is they're going to shut the grid off. This whole thing, the whole thing, there was like a blackout. And that's what the new Super Bowl logo looks like. It looks like an emergency alert. And then they showed this bridge connecting America through Africa to Australia. This is the bridge bridging the world through a new blockchain technocratic type technology era. And if we go back last year to the same time, we had Gene Hackman passing and the connection of the Super Bowl and the Oscars with the Masonic Compass releasing the files. This is when we got the release of the files the first time, phase 1, which was a Knights Templar release. I'm always looking out for the Knights Templar logos and symbols, the Friday the 13th Knights Templar symbolism. That's what this checkerboard is. It's Knights Templar. And these are all the leftist ideology clan. Because that's what the whole purpose of the Illuminati is. So right here is the Knights Templar logo. And that's who released the files during that time of the Oscars there. And here was the VMAs in 2021. It was performed on a big Illuminati eyeball. And there's the Moon Man. We're going to have this moon mission happen this weekend. It got changed for the Super Bowl. The freaking moon mission is going to happen on the Super Bowl. They're going to go back to the moon. So the moon seems to be important. Bad Bunny, the bunny on the moon. It's connected to the Twin Peaks and the AA, Artemis and whatever. But Busta Rhymes performed. And here's Doja Cat performing in front of the Illuminati eyeball at the VMAs. And there was Wi-Fi mantis alien precognitive sentient beings behind her, shaping, shifting into different creatures. And I was like, oh, goodness, this is the alien stuff. And you can see they're all wearing the masks because this was during the lockdown. And Busta Rhymes initially was like questioning it. And then he backpedaled and then he promoted it. And they awarded him. And that's why he's going to be in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. If you play ball for the Illuminati, you're going to be awarded. And then they got the eyeball right behind him. Come on. Come on. I've been saving screenshots like this for years and years and years and years. These are some of the old ones. And it's a collective ritual. It's not just one thing. They got to show you the symbols all over and over and over and over and over again in different celebrities. Like all they were showing us was butts during the lockdown. They covered the face and unleashed the butts and got rid of the toilet paper. So it was nothing but shit. And right here, the kissing rituals that we see happen with Lil Nas X. Bad Bunny did the same thing. Machine Gun Kelly wearing the pink. I was showing Jordan Maxwell, the Knights Templar symbolism of Lil Uzi Vert, who will be the first to get implanted with the Neuralink chip for this Wicked Smart Cities to raise his IQ points. And maybe that is the chip in his head they got there. And that's Grimes. And she's got the Knights Templar sword right there. She got the Iron Cross. So you just follow symbolism. You follow the brands like the Illuminachos, Doritos. This is a Lil Nas X music video. And through product placement, this is how you can see who owns them, is because they got their products like Doritos in a Nas video. I thought Nas was a conscience rapper. Yes, he's very conscious on getting his pockets wicked fat by making a deal with the Illuminachos, which is a left-leaning product. That's why you got Tim Waltz and Kamala eating Doritos all the time on camera. They're eating the Doritos because it's the Illuminachos, and you rub enough of this yellow dye of the Dorito all over your body, you shine the purple lights onto your body from the yellow Dorito dust, it can see through your organ. Your skin is your largest organ, and you could see right through that freaking organ if you were a rat. But we're human, so it's harder. So you're probably gonna have to rub a lot of this Dorito dust all over your body. I mean, probably 3, 4, 5 times. Then goes down underneath the purple light, and then you can see what's inside your body. Sounds crazy, but that's actually true, at least with the rats. And if you could do it to a rat, you could do it to a human. That's why they do rat mice studies on people. Here's just some more Knights Templar stuff throughout the days of all the different Iron Crosses and the lore and the kissing and the rituals and all that, you know. And I've been very consistent with the Agenda 2030 since I started the channel. There's the cloning stations. Just going back in time a little bit, just showing you how the award shows or Knights Templar shows, they got the checkerboard. I mean, here's Kanye doing his ritual with his wife, Kim Kardashian, that bloodline of that clan. And then underneath them is Saturn and the Knights Templar Iron Cross, 12 Iron Crosses within Chronos Saturn right there, as you can see. This is the only channel that has covered this consistently over and over again. And it's directly correlated to the United Nations agenda. That's why when you're locked down, they had these bands like BTS. Now they have Green Day pushing the United Nations agenda with Leonardo DiCaprio and Arnold Schwarzenegger. But they gave us permission to dance, so we were allowed to dance. And there's just so much symbolism within everything. The last award show, they did the awards on this symbol. I don't know what that was. Was that the Golden Globes, I think? And this is broken off into 33 sections. And then he's doing the okay. Here's another full moon. I don't know what went down that sacrifice, but there's the purple light frequencies. They're showing you the technologies. They're showing you the technologies in this. This is just super advanced. This is advanced stuff we're talking about. the technologies. And there's Bad Bunny. They got 32 lights above them. That's symbolic. But they're just awarding and showing you the people slowly so you accept that he's going to be performing at the Super Bowl. Why would you play his music at the Super Bowl? If you're going to war, which that's what a Super Bowl is, it's an imitation of war, you got to be pumped up. You know, they should be playing Iron Maiden at the Super Bowl, not Bad Bunny. Here's Future or Takeoff. His brother got assassinated right before the Grammys. It was all predicted in their music videos and their albums. And he does the Illuminati Phantom of the Opera eyeball, just like Madonna did the same thing as well. I mean, come on, there's just so much crazy stuff. The whole thing is just nuts. And it's all tied into different astrological dates. Alec Baldwin, remember, he's Justin Bieber's father-in-law or something, uncle-in-law, I don't know. Justin Bieber's wife, that's her daddy or her uncle. And he murdered somebody or he killed somebody on set. He shot them. And Alec Baldwin got off. He didn't get charged with it on 7/13. This is when the Donald Trump assassination attempt went on this date, 7/13. It's the day that I think Jeffrey hung himself. Or, no, Jeffrey hung himself on the Helical Rising. 7/13 is when the blackout happened, where they moved Jeffrey into witness protection. Yes, that's what happened. But this is a very important day. This is one of the most important days when it comes to the solar cults, in a sense, because that's when the sun is at the highest peak. This is why they do parades around this day. I was talking about that 32, how there's 32 lights above the Oscars. Well, she'd be wearing the 32. You plus Kobe Bryant's jerseys together during the Grammys, it equals 32. That's symbolic. There's a meaning behind it. And it's connected to the rose compass. So the next ritual will be the Oscars, where you get the Ptah statue. This is what I'm saying. It all goes back to the ancient days. And they're summoning these different archetypes and stuff that have been summoned for thousands of years. But you think that they just created it, but it goes back a long time. And yes, it is a phallic statue. Harriet the Spy. This has like been forgotten about. Harriet the Spy. This was like younger people's first crush when they were kids watching Nickelodeon. Just like this is the mom for the younger kids watching these TV, because we grow up on the TV show. So that's the mom. Harriet the Spy was the girl, and she died right before the Grammys or something, or the Oscars, or one of these award shows. Got swept under the rug. No one ever talked about it. They didn't even thank her or like paid homage. They paid homage to Gene Hackman, but not to her, because she probably wasn't going with their ideologies. That's what I'm thinking. Here's Kendrick Lamar. Look, you see how he's wearing the Amazon logo because it's part of the new tech system, the billionaire tech system. He's wearing the Amazon logo because the Amazon is who puts on a lot of these music events, because Amazon Music. Jeffrey in the news. Got the Deutsche Bank thing up there. He's connected to JP Morgan, those National Socialists, connected to a lot of things. Here's the blackout that happened in 2019 on 7/13. Gene Hackman. Just the symbols are all over the place. Liam Payne of One Direction dies on the 10/17 date. I was bringing up the 10/17 ritual right here. Just like Gucci Man is 10/17, Brick Squad, and there's the curse of 10/17, where Gucci Man's label has a troubled legacy, where a lot of these artists end up dying. And shout out to Gucci. And shout out to Gucci's clone. The 10/17 also, during the Ariana Grande concert, 10/17 were injured. There's something to this. And on 10/17, which is Eminem's birthday. So these are rituals to look out for in the future and take notes and go back to. That's when Liam Payne died. He fell from a hotel balcony, just like Sophia fell from a hotel balcony taking a picture of the moon. Sophia accidentally fell 3 floors. Even the CERN sacrifice, the guy who created the God particle. Shout out to Mac Miller. I haven't looked into Mac Miller, but the day before Mac Miller died, he posted like him riding a goat or something. And Heath Ledger, I got to check that out too. But the guy who came up with the God particle at CERN dies on the eclipse while CERN was reactivated that day. Matthew Perry dies eclipse, drowning ritual. So this is a pattern recognition that is clearly something to it. And here's the Sampaku eye ritual. The Sampaku eye ritual, you can see Princess Diana, JFK. I don't know if that's Marilyn Monroe or Dorothy, but it shows the stress, and I think it's symbolic for something bad to come their way, in a sense. Not that if you have these, that's what it means. I'm just saying symbolically on the world stage, like as a symbol. Jelly Roll shares update after his jet's emergency landing. Jelly Roll, I've been keeping an eye out on his Sampaku eyeball, and he's being heavily awarded. And right here, this is at the Walgreens. They got Time Magazine of Prince with the Sampaku eye, and underneath is Jelly Roll. I think this is symbolic, the way that they put out these magazines for the brain. Just like priming. They got to hit you in every direction, on your phone, on the billboards, because this is the simulacra. The simulacra is a hyper reality for the plebes to imitate, and become the ideal image of the billboard, become the true epic love story of Taylor and Travis. You got to imitate what you see on the magazine covers. You imitate what the magazine cover does. You're not looking at the magazines. The magazines are watching you and having you change. So when I see this Starbucks pistachio and all the different Dubai chocolates and all the green, I mean, it's everywhere. The green Dubai avocado pistachio green, it's everywhere. Go to your store and go check out and look. It's right there in the front with the kings and queens on the magazine covers, showing who owns you. This is all over the frickin' place, and it means something, and I think it's connected to Venus, because Venus is connected to the green. So that's what I'm thinking it is right now. That's an old symbol of Venus. Like, this is Barbie on her tippy toes. All this stuff goes back to symbolism. The IBM logo. Did y'all watch the breakdown? I did the breakdown video. You got to go check it out, where we go over the IBM logo and its connections to the island. You got to go check that out. We went over a bunch of stuff, and that's in the most recent video that was just posted. Make sure to go check that out, and also go to the Patreon as well. The Patreon. You can watch the Grammys full moon ritual. We watch the entire show, break it down live in the Discord party room. And if you sign up now, you'll get access to the Super Bowl that's coming up this week or this weekend on Sunday. So make sure to go do that. Click the link below, and we're going to keep y'all posted with all this crazy stuff going on. There's so much crazy stuff going on in the news, in the Illuminati news. Please smash that like button. Much love, and God bless you.